We are following breaking news tonight, a lockdown at the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. Law enforcement responding to threats made against the country's second oldest service academy. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now at 10. I'm Susan Tran.
And I'm Chris Flanagan, spokesperson for the naval base that hosts the academy, says they're working with law enforcement. Our Yamari Sise joining us now live from Annapolis.
All right, Yamari, what's the latest?
Yeah, well, the latest information that we just got from officials has came in, and they do say they responded to this scene around 5 p.m. They emphasized that there was no active shooter on the campus here at the naval base in Annapolis, and they also say that there was a building sweep due to suspicious activity. During that time, someone was injured and taken to the hospital. Now, about an hour and a half ago, there was a heavy police presence right here on the campus, and now it's died down a lot compared to what we saw earlier. We spoke to neighbors around. Many of them were uncertain what was taking place. A lot of questions going around. They did hear an alarm go off saying that the campus was on lockdown. Earlier, before they had confirmed what was going on, they did notify us that the campus was on lockdown out of precaution of what the suspicious activity was taking place. Now, neighbors do tell us that they heard the loud noise before saying it was on lockdown, and for hours there was a lot of uncertainty as they watched police cars racing inside, a helicopter circling. Many of them stayed calm, but wanted to know what was going on. Take a listen to what they had to say.
We were really scared, calling our parents, everybody's checking up on us, trying to make sure that our friends in the academy are safe, and just making sure our community at large is that safe. Because even if we're not students there, that's still part of our community. I think it's pretty scary for that to be happening right next to us.
Still an active investigation. They will update us and let us know any more information at this time. But again, as we know so far, they reported, law enforcement reported to the scene around 5 p.m. for suspicious activity on the campus as they were clearing out a building. Someone was injured and taken to the hospital. We're now reporting live here in Annapolis. I'm Yamari Sise, DC News Now.
All right, a lot of new information there, Yamari. Thank you. We're also monitoring other threats made against several historically black colleges. Hampton and Virginia State both saying they canceled classes and were on lockdown due to threats. Howard and Bowie State tell us they're closely monitoring the situation and remain vigilant, but are not aware of any direct threats to their campuses. Both universities say no threats have been made at either school.
And we are following breaking news. The FBI releasing this new video showing the person of interest in the shooting death of Charlie Kirk, that is. And you can see the person just jumped down from the building. It's at the center of your screen, and the person is running across the grass as well as the parking lot there at Utah Valley University. Investigators say they received 17,000 leads and tips from the public. Police also want to emphasize there's some key identifying features they want people to be on the lookout for. They know the person was wearing Converse shoes. They were able to get shoe prints. The person was wearing a distinct black t-shirt. It had a flag and an eagle on it. A black cap that had a triangle on it, and you can see the person continues to run across, and they say they were able to track the person into the woods where they found that rifle, and they've also given out some enhanced photos. 20 federal and state law enforcement agencies have been working to solve this case, and here are some more of these images. Again, that is a black t-shirt with the flag and eagle on it, and the cap that the person that is of interest was wearing, as well as the backpack. Investigators have conducted 200 interviews thus far, and they say there is now a $100,000 reward in this case.
Yeah, there's also new pictures here of the neighborhood. This person you can see here walking through the neighborhood. This is being released by TMZ tonight, showing a person of interest through. This is right outside the campus of Utah Valley State shortly after the shooting. They're calling this person a person of interest. So a lot of new information coming out of Utah at this hour. The FBI also releasing more images of the person that we saw, appealing to the public really for any help. They say he was wearing very distinctive clothing, and if you recognize the clothing, call them.
That's right. And Kirk, of course, was one of President Trump's closest allies. Investigators say the shooter fired one shot, killing the 31-year-old while he was speaking to a crowd of 3,000 there at Utah Valley University. Investigators believe the shooter then jumped off the roof of that building. We saw the video earlier, and then ran into the neighborhood. Police later found they were able to track him into that wooded area where they say they found a high-powered bolt-action rifle rifle in the woods nearby.
And developing tonight at 10, Prince George's County police tell us one of their officers now under investigation for a social media post made about Charlie Kirk's death. Now, unconfirmed screenshots of that post are being shared right now on social media. We'll continue to follow this latest development and bring you more information as we learn more. Also into our newsroom, Air Force 2 carrying Charlie Kirk's casket back to his home state of Arizona tonight. Officials say a funeral is now being planned, and President Trump saying earlier in the day he is planning to attend. You can see there his casket being carried off the plane there, Air Force 2. When the plane arrives, Second Lady Usha Vance stepping off with Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica.
There have been many vigils for Kirk in the last 24 hours. These are two videos showing an event outside of the Utah State Capitol there in Salt Lake City, and the service that the state Republican Party also held. Other vigils, they took place at a park near Utah Valley State, as well as in Virginia, California, Texas, and Florida. Also today, there have been services all across the country as we honor the nearly 3,000 victims killed on September 11th.
Including in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, the National Park Service there remembering the passengers on Flight 93. They fought back against the terrorists, ultimately crashing the plane in that field, saving an untold number of lives.
Confronted by an unprecedented situation, united as one, they drew upon a reserve of inner strength to face that challenge. It is our duty, and indeed our honor, to do all we can to meet our own challenges with the same spirit of strength, unity, and determination demonstrated by the 40 heroes that morning.
That flight, one of four, hijacked 24 years ago. The other three planes hitting the Twin Towers and the Pentagon. There were remembrances across the district as well to honor the sacrifices made and the lives lost.
And DC News Now's Randy Bass takes us to an emotional ceremony with DC leaders and first responders.
24 years ago, we witnessed a tragedy that forever changed our city and our nation. On that day, we made a solemn pledge we would never forget. And today, at this ceremony, we gather to honor that promise, not just in memory, but in action.
Remembering September 11th, 2001, and honoring those who answered the call without hesitation.
Our responders are capable of extraordinary things. In the face of danger, uncertainty, and loss, they adapt, they overcome, and they perform with courage and professionalism. That truth remains as powerful today as it was 24 years ago.
Memories still powerful for those responding after Flight 77 from Dulles hit the Pentagon that day. And more than 2 decades later, D.C. Deputy Fire Chief Sean Brooks recalls the moments after he arrived at the scene.
Through rubble and water and burning debris, I wound up pulling the first hose line from the courtyard area of the Pentagon, what they called Ground Zero. We were very determined to do our job. Putting the fire out was important to keep them from being able to celebrate their victory.
24 years later, leaders today honoring the bravery of those like Brooks.
Many of our responders carry the weight of what they've seen long after the sirens fade. We must continue to support them, not just in the moment, but in the months and years that follow.
Another theme from today's remembrance ceremony, that feeling of togetherness, unity in the days and weeks that followed 9/11. Something that leaders today say feels more important now than ever before. In Northwest DC, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
And taking a live look outside towards the Pentagon on this Thursday evening, September 11th, we are expecting a slight warm-up over the next few days as we head into the weekend.
All right, we have our meteorologist Damon Matson joining us, and the weather cooperating just in time for the weekend. That's like what we like to hear.
I know. We've had some crisp days recently in the last few weeks, but Mother Nature pumping the brakes a little bit on those fall-like feels as, we are going to be seeing those warmer temperatures heading into the weekend. Many folks pretty excited about that, I'm sure. Don't want to let go of the summertime warmth just yet. Now, it's not going to happen, of course, tonight with the clear skies around. We are starting to feel some cooler air filtering back in. D.C. still sitting at 70 at this hour, but the rest of the DMV easily falling through the 60s. And back toward Winchester and Woodstock, it's already dropping down toward toward those upper 50s pretty rapidly. So yeah, we'll wake up tomorrow morning with a bit of that cooler air around. Most of us will start in the 50s, so you'll have to have that light jacket handy, but with lots of sunshine expected and very light winds to kick off the day on Friday, well, those 50s and 60s will be rebounding right back up toward the 70s and the 80s. So we're looking at fantastic conditions to wrap up the week. Can we keep it going into the weekend? And if so, how much warmer is it going to get? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, we'll see you then. All new tonight in Montgomery County. Police say 2 high school students were arrested after reports of a gun on campus. Turns out it was a BB gun. Just after noon, Northwood High in Rockville was placed on lockdown. During a search, police say they found the BB gun on one of the 15-year-olds and a BB bullet in the other boy's pocket. About an hour earlier, police also got a report of a person walking near school with a gun. Turns out that was a toy. A community walk in Maryland hoping to create some safer neighborhoods.
Leaders in Prince George's County teaming up for this event. More than 1,000 people, take a look, coming out to spend some time with police and local leaders. There were also community activists and nonprofit organizations. Neighbors getting a chance to connect directly with county leadership and sharing their concerns and asking questions.
Tonight we are walking with our community, unifying with all of our elected and appointed officials who really care about public safety, care about each and every community across Prince George's County. We're starting here in Clinton.
The women and men we have lost in unnecessary crime throughout our county, the young people, we're just out here to say we're taking our community back.
Several council members, along with Prince George's County Executive and the state's attorney, were all there for the event. A physical therapist in Northern Virginia under arrest, accused of improperly touching a patient. Police have arrested Samuel Choi, and we're showing you his photo because investigators believe there could be more victims. A woman telling police that Choi sexually assaulted her during an appointment on Monday at his Innovation Park office there in Merrifield. She says she then tried to leave and he blocked her way and then took her phone. Investigators saying that he was also inappropriate with her during a separate appointment. The 34-year-old is being held without bond.
All right, happening now, the Commanders taking on the Green Bay Packers out in Lambeau Field. Right now, the Commanders trailing 14-3. This is about almost midway through the third quarter there. So again, 14-3. Sports Director Derek Forrest have much more on the game coming up in a little bit, and also on game night as well. And tonight we're checking in on fans. We went over to Sports and Social on U Street. This is in Northwest D.C. About an hour before the game, the bar really starting to fill up with so many pumped up Commanders fans.
It's probably the most excited I've ever been as a fan because, again, we have a real shot to win the Super Bowl.
All right, you know what? That fan there predicting the Commanders will win it tonight 27-24. I don't know, Susan, they got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, it's still
time.
time.
It's not too late. It's
That's
not
right.
too late. We believe.
That's right.